I originally wanted to make a much larger video, but it's getting a little bit out of hand for me, and I've got other reviews that I really want to get to. So instead, here's just a handful of quick tips for the combat in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Pay attention to when enemy attacks are displayed above their heads. They're small and they don't stick around for long, but they're a major clue as to what the enemy is planning. A Sahagin using Salation Curse means that you'd better get out of there and dodge, while Jump indicates that you should block or counterattack. A bomb that uses Inflame means that you had better back off. If you attack while that word is over his head, you'll be punished for it. Unfortunately, you don't always get a fair amount of time to react or make changes. But paying close attention to an enemy's movements as well as the announced attacks will go a long way towards making the game easier. When the enemy has been pressured, do not miss the opportunity to press the attack. Cloud, Barret, and Tifa all have moves with the word focus in the name, and they're designed specifically to skyrocket the stagger gauge when an enemy has been pressured. Staggering an enemy is, oftentimes, the key to victory in this game, or at the least, it'll deal extreme damage while the enemy can't fight back. A lot of the game is designed around Cloud's counterattack. After pressing the triangle button, Cloud will switch to the Punisher stance. While in Punisher mode, holding down R1 for however long you want to, will have him automatically counter every single close-range physical attack in the game, with grabs being the more notable exceptions. It might take some getting used to, it is kinda weird, but it's a lot easier than it sounds, and again, it works on nearly every single close-range attack in the game. Even if the enemy is literally a giant buzzsaw, if all you do is just hold R1 in your counter stance, then you will constantly counterattack him without fail. Of course, the key is to only attack until you need to counter, and here's where canceling comes into play. Cloud can normally cancel his combo into the counter stance, allowing him to constantly onslaught his enemies without pausing. If you're in the Punisher stance already, you'll need to double cancel, once to enter the normal stance and again to re-enter Punisher, and then make sure you're holding R1 to counter. This is harder to do than simply canceling once, so I would recommend against it unless you're feeling confident. As you get better at the game and you recognize the enemy patterns more, you'll be able to take stronger advantage of this counter-canceling system. Tifa is unique in that her abilities can be used to drastically lower the enemy's defense when they're staggered, leading to potentially ludicrous damage. She's also arguably better than Cloud in situations where it's too difficult or too risky to counter the enemy. Here's a good example against this Tonberry. I start the fight by using Unbridled Strength twice as quickly as I can. This powers up Tifa's basic attacks for a long period of time, and it unlocks her stronger moves, which I'll get to later. I then proceed with the fight as usual, being careful to bait out the Tonberry's chef knife attack. When the Tonberry misses, he becomes pressured, so I use this opportunity to attack with Tifa's Focus Strike, just like I explained to do earlier in the video, and then afterwards I proceed pummeling him as normal. Once the Tonberry has been successfully staggered, then the real fun starts. I'm rapidly hitting the triangle button to use Tifa's special attacks, Rise and Fall and then Omni Strike, which I unlocked earlier with Unbridled Strength. Then, while Omni Strike is being used, I go into the menu to prepare True Strike. As soon as the animation for True Strike starts up, I go into the menu and activate True Strike yet again. All four of these attacks significantly build up the opponent's stagger percentage, which the rest of the party can take advantage of. Immediately after I select True Strike for the second time, I quickly switch to Barret and have him use Overcharge as soon as I can. Then, before Overcharge even begins, I go into the menu and select Maximum Fury. This setup will make it so that Barret automatically goes from one attack right into the next. I then switch to Cloud, make sure he's close enough to the enemy, and use Infinity's End. Finally, I go back to Tifa and throw out an uppercut for good measure, increasing the target's stagger percentage just a tad more. Okay, I'll play it all back again in real time now.
Take the lead. About damn time. I got this.
Combos like this are what make me love this game so much. It's incredibly fun and satisfying to see the whole team come together. The only other attack in the game that increases the target's stagger percentage like this is Aerith's Ray of Judgement. That attack is just really good on its own already, and you should be using it all the time. So this is just a nice bonus on top of that. One final tip that's worth bringing up and can be easily overlooked is Tifa's Starshower attack. After using Starshower, the power of Tifa's next command is doubled. This counts for magic spells, multi-hit attacks, and most importantly, her limit breaks. Starshower plus limit break makes Tifa straight up insane. Watch this comparison. And this is very easy to test for yourself. Equip Tifa with Ice and Elemental Materia to make her invulnerable to Shiva, the First Strike Materia to help speed up her ATB, and then the Goddardammerung accessory so you can use this limit break right away. Although if you already have that accessory, then you have no need to watch this video anyway. But yeah, there you go. Well, that's about it. There's a bunch of other things too, like canceling most of Barret's recovery animations into his charge so that he recovers even faster. But I think I've covered most of the important stuff. I hope everyone enjoys this game as much as I did. Thanks for watching.
Get ready. Let's go.